Okay, here we go. We are going to do the whole Bible in 30 minutes or less. I'm the narrator and it's my job to keep things moving. Now, do you know what I mean when I say we are going to do the whole Bible in 30 minutes?
No.
Hush, I wasn't talking to you. You do too know what I mean? They might not?
Oh.
Well, here's what I mean. We are going to act out every single book in the Bible. It's going to be interesting, though, that most books of the Bible are the name of some person or place. So we have a lot of people to cover, and with our limited cast, it's going to be
Enough already. Let's start.
Right. Here we go. I'm the narrator, and that's the timekeeper, hence the stopwatch around her neck. She'll be keeping track of time. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Timekeeper, tell us when to begin. Go. The first book of the Bible is Genesis. It starts like this. In the beginning, there was God. I'm God. God created the world in 6 days.
Light, dark, done. Sky, water, done. Sea, land, planets, done. Day, night, stars, galaxies, done. Sea animals, birds, done. Land animals, make a man. Your name is Adam.
Okay.
Done.
And then he rested.
Whew, hard work. I'm taking a break.
Adam got lonely, so God made him a friend, Eve.
There you go.
Thanks.
Live in this garden.
Okay.
Eve took a walk
La, 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 la.
and ran into Satan disguised as a snake.
Want a bite of a fruit that, even though it looks like an apple, isn't?
God doesn't want you to.
Forget about him. Have a bite.
Eve gave some to Adam, and God got angry, and he kicked them out of the garden.
Go.
Okay.
Adam and Eve had 2 sons, Cain
Hi.
and Abel. Hi. Cain killed Abel.
God.
So God got angry.
Go.
Okay.
And then everybody on the face of the earth was bad.
This is a stick-up. Give me all your money.
We haven't invented money yet.
And give me all your sheets.
Everybody was bad except Noah.
I love you, God.
God got angry and decided to start all over with humans, so he had Noah build an ark and put lots of animals on it.
Aardvarks, alligators, antelopes,
Lots and lots of animals.
water buffaloes, yaks, and zebras.
Whew.
Then it rained, flooded, and everybody died that wasn't in the ark. And then Noah got up, and there was a rainbow.
No more floods.
Pretty colors.
Then the people tried to build the Tower of Babel.
It will reach heaven!
So God got angry and made them all Babel. Then came Abram,
Hi.
who had a nephew named Lot.
And this is my wife, Celine. Get it? She turned her brother soul.
God told Abram,
You're going to be famous, and you're going to have lots and lots of kids.
But how can that be? I'm 93 and Sarah's 90.
And I'm going to change your name. Make it Abraham.
Well, it's not that much different than Abraham. Okay.
later, Sarah gave birth to a son,
Someone called again to book a woman. I'm mom at night.
and they called him Isaac.
You are Isaac.
Okay.
God told Abraham to sacrifice Isaac,
What?
but he provided a ram at the last minute.
I'm hurt water. Anybody looking in?
And the animal ram.
Oh my God.
Isaac got married to Rebecca, and they had 2 boys who were twins, but didn't look anything alike.
I'm the oldest, Esau.
And I'm the smartest, Jacob.
Jacob stole the birthright from Esau
I'll take that.
and took off. He went to his uncle Laban's house, where he met Rachel and Leah and got married to them.
But I wanted to be married to just her.
Tap! You get me too.
Jacob and his wives had 12 sons. He went back to his homeland, but before he got there, he wrestled with God.
Pretty good. I'll rename you too. You are now Israel.
Israel? But that doesn't sound anything like Jacob. What about Jackson? Then I can start a singing group with all my sons.
Israel got wealthy, but his sons didn't get along. 11 of them didn't like that one named Joseph.
don't like you.
Why?
Because you're spoiled.
So they sold him as a slave.
Take him.
Joseph went to Egypt where he had his ups
I'm in charge of the general's household.
and his downs. But he had an knack for interpreting dreams.
Any dream at all. God helps me.
And he was made governor of Egypt for figuring out a dream of Pharaoh's.
And we didn't even need an instant replay.
Famine struck the whole world. But Joseph had prepared for it.
I opened up and my Joseph all over Egypt.
Even Joseph's brother showed up for some food.
Sure, you want some fries with that? Yes, we're brothers. You better get down live with me.
Okay.
And all the children of Israel moved to Egypt.
Wait, how much is it you haul from here to Egypt?
And we move on to the book of Exodus. After a couple hundred of years, the Egyptians decided to start a building project.
I like these triangle-shaped things.
Pyramids?
Yeah, think lots of them.
We'll need some cheap labor.
And so the Israelites went to the construction business.
Work.
I don't want to.
Well, then I'll need you.
Never mind, I'll do it.
While the Israelites were building, the Pharaoh's daughter found Moses in a river.
Aw, how cute.
And he grew up to be the prince of Egypt.
You can rent that movie.
He left Egypt for 40 years
But I didn't mean to hit him that hard.
and came back after talking to God in a burning bush.
Go back and free my people.
Okay. I'm back.
Moses went and saw Pharaoh, but Pharaoh wouldn't let the Israelites go.
No, you'll be sorry.
God got angry and sent 10 plagues on Egypt.
Water to blood, frogs, gnats, flies, Kardashians, trying to keep up with them. Hail, locusts, darkness, that's 9. Give up?
You give up?
No, never.
He said no.
He asked for it.
The very first Passover happened. God killed the firstborn of every family that did not have the blood of the lamb on their doorpost. It was too much for the Pharaoh.
Leave.
So Moses took all the children of Israel out of Egypt.
Goodbye. Adios. I'll be there.
But Pharaoh tried to renege his offer,
I'll make them come back.
but he drowned after trying to chase the children of Israel across the Red Sea.
Where's the lifeguard?
Moses led the children of Israel to Mount Sinai,
Wait here while I talk.
and there God gave him the 10 Commandments.
You can rent that movie too.
And I have the rest of the law to give to you.
More?
Yes?
Next, the exciting book of Leviticus.
To make the home clean after mold has been removed from it, take 2 birds, some water, and some sedatives. Kill one of the birds and dip it in the water with the chip.
Yes, thank you. We're aware. Get up.
Would you like to know what to do if you have some bodily discharge you cannot identify?
No, thank you. That's all right. Don't bother, please. Leviticus is the actual law that God handed down. Then comes the book of Numbers, where Moses led the children of Israel to the edge of the promised land, but they didn't want to go in.
There are giants in there.
Wait a minute. Did your Kenny like weddings autograph?
No, real giants. We're not going in.
So the children of Israel wandered around the desert for 40 years.
Has anyone seen my AAA pod?
Deuteronomy brings us back to the edge of the promised land, and the book of Joshua describes how the children of Israel entered the promised land with Joshua in charge.
We'll beat them all with God's help.
March around that city and the walls will fall down. Command the sun to stand still, and it will. Don't make any treaties.
Okay.
After they'd taken over the land, God set up each tribe of Israel with its own piece of land, and the Levites took care of the temple.
You, go there. And you, there. And you, there. You two switch places.
We're all set.
Then came a period of ups and downs for Israel as other countries would come through and wreak havoc. So the Lord set up judges to help out Israel. Some of them were
Othniel.
I live the first judge. Come on, don't you know who I am?
Deborah.
A woman?
Yes, a woman. God is very progressive.
Gideon.
We're going to kill that massive army of just 300 men.
Ibzan, Elon, and Abdon.
Never heard of us either, huh?
And Samson.
I'm super strong.
Oh, Samson.
Oh, gotta go. Bye.
during the time of Judges, Ruth was around.
Hi, I'm going to be the great-grandmother of David.
But that's jumping ahead. The tribes of Israel wanted a king, not judges, however.
We want a king! We want a king!
You'll be sorry.
But God gave the Israelites what they wanted, so in 1 Samuel, the first king is named Saul.
The first king of Israel, that's me.
Saul was an okay king, but he got stuck in a battle one time.
I can't beat these Philistines.
And a kid named David showed up and won with one stone.
I'll use my slingshot to kill Goliath.
Oh, that going to defeat a whole army?
Politics were different back then.
Anyway, David killed Goliath, and all the people cheered. Saul got jealous of David.
Gideon used 300 guys to defeat an army. I get that. But David, one stone? Really? How fair is that? And they all love him. He's going to steal my crown.
So David ran away.
I wouldn't have taken it.
After Saul died, 2 Samuel starts by having David crowned king.
I'm going to make my capital Jerusalem.
David was the best king Israel ever had. He was the king that made sure the tiny nation gained the respect of the neighboring countries.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor, or I'll have to kill you.
We respect you, neighbor!
The next king, David's son Solomon, became the wealthiest man on the planet.
I had early investments in GM, IBM, and Microsoft.
He was the king that built up Israel.
I will build an impressive temple for the Lord. And an even more impressive palace for myself.
But he had a problem.
What?
He had 700 wives
Wow.
and 300 concubines,
Wait a minute.
and he had to keep them all happy.
No.
I want to go shopping. Need my hair done.
Sally, let's go for a drive.
Oh, me, please.
After Solomon died of exhaustion, the nation of Israel divided into 2 kingdoms. The northern kingdom, which kept the name Israel,
Where is Israel?
and the southern kingdom, which became Judah.
Were the for real Israelites?
In the book, you know, we're not going to make it in 30 minutes or less unless you speed things up a bit. I mean, we're only through like 14 books, narrator. Okay, we'll speed things up. Thank you. In the books of Kings and Chronicles, we get the Chronicles of Kings of Israel and Judah. Lots of history of the Jewish people happened here. Judah fought Egypt.
Go away.
Israel fought the Babylons.
No way.
What we want?
They fought each other. The books of Kings and Chronicles not only tell the stories of kings, but also their queens, like Jezebel,
I'm gonna kill that guy just to get his vineyard.
and some famous prophets, notably Elijah and Elisha.
I'm Elijah with a J, and I never died. I rode a chariot to heaven.
And I'm Elisha with an S, and I had the fun of losing her down.
But it's mostly about kings until 721 BC, when Assyria conquered Israel.
I beat you if you're coming with me.
And in 586 BC, Babylon destroyed Jerusalem and carried off Judah.
We beat you, you're coming with me.
Oh, man.
After a while, Ezra came back from Babylon to Judah to start building things up again.
I found some scrolls. Let's follow God's law.
And Nehemiah came back to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem.
I got my contracting degree from Persian University.
The book of Esther tells how a beautiful girl becomes a queen,
I saved all the Jewish people living in Persia.
but it never mentions God in the entire book, not once.
Hey,
Now, an interesting thing happened.
happens. The Bible's not so chronological anymore. It kind of jumps around. We get the story of Job.
Let's make a bet, and we'll use that guy.
Okay.
Oh, man.
The book of Psalms, which is a lot of songs. The book of Proverbs, which was written by Solomon.
Even a child is known by whether his conduct is right and pure. Chapter 20, verse 11.
The book of Ecclesiastes, which is kind of depressing. And the Song of Songs, which is not.
Then we get to the prophets. There are 16 books of the prophets, and they do a lot of, well, prophesying. And because we said we would, here are all of them. There are some famous ones like Isaiah
Which is really long. 66 chapters.
and Daniel
Advisor to the king and almost devoured by lions.
and Jonah.
You know me? Swallowed by a fish.
And then there are others which are not so famous. Jeremiah,
I heard Lamentations so sad.
Ezekiel,
Doom! Jerusalem will fall! Death! Destruction! Bula! and Oliva! Troops!
right, Hosea,
You are not going to believe who I have to marry.
Joel, Amos, and Obadiah.
Some of the shorter prophets of the Old Testament.
And I am the shortest.
Shortest books.
Oh, right.
And then the rest of the prophets. Micah,
Act justly and love mercy and walk humbly with your God.
Nahum,
The Lord is good, a refuge in times of trouble.
Habakkuk,
How long, Lord, must I call for help, but you do not answer?
Zephaniah,
The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves.
Haggai,
The Lord Almighty says, give careful thought to your ways.
Zechariah,
Return to me, says the Lord, and I will return to you.
Malachi.
The day that is coming will set them on fire, says the Lord Almighty. Not a root or branch will be left to them.
Overall, the story of the prophets was that God loved the children of Israel and he was going to take care of them. He would send a Messiah.
I love you guys. Help is on the way. Make sure you tell everybody.
Okay, we will. Thanks, God.
God loves you. Help is on the way. A Messiah is coming.
And that is the end of the Old Testament.
How are we doing on time?
16 minutes, 48 seconds elapsed. Time.
Great. Here we go with the New Testament. After the last prophet, Malachi, the Bible is quiet for a period of time. That lasts about 400 years. During this time, the Romans basically conquered the entire world, or at least the part they know about.
Romans rock!
Then the Bible starts up again. The books of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John all tell the same story, but from different points of view. It goes something like this. Joseph got engaged to Mary. Not that Joseph, the father of Jesus Joseph.
Mary.
Okay. But she got pregnant before they could get married.
Candle!
Don't worry about it, dear.
Oh.
The Roman king, Caesar, decided to do a head count, and he told everybody to go home.
Go home.
So, Joseph took Mary to Bethlehem, and since there was no room in the Holiday Inn, they had to sleep in a barn, and that's where Jesus was born. Hi. Jesus grew up in a place called Nazareth, but we don't know too much about his childhood. His trade was carpentry, so we know there have to be some cabinets out there made by him.
Holy cabinet.
Thanks. Jesus' cousin, a guy named John the Baptist, went around baptizing people, telling them to get ready for Jesus.
You need to be baptized.
Excuse me?
I mean, you need to be baptized. Jesus is coming.
Right. Jesus went to John.
Oh, baptize me, cousin. I'm not worthy. Please do.
And when John did baptize Jesus, God spoke.
This is my son, in whom I am well pleased.
Jesus' first miracle was to change water into wine.
It was correct, man. We ran out of wine and this dude right here put water in the pots and made it into wine. I love it, man.
Jesus started his ministry soon after that. He gathered 12 guys to him.
All right, now you will be my disciple. is.
The leader of the group was a guy named Peter, also known as the Rock.
I'm gonna smash some heads with a super slam it. Where's Undertaker?
Not the WWE Rock, Peter. You're the Rock of the church.
Sorry, man. Are you okay?
What a group of disciples they were. Fishermen, tax collectors, farmers, even an accountant.
My name is Judas. I keep track of the funding in this organization.
Jesus went around to all the people telling them stories.
Now, this story doesn't happen for a really long time yet. But this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. Now I'd like to take a second, just sit right there. I'll tell you how we came to a town called Bel Air.
What about all the stories of God and his love, Jesus?
Right. God loves you, and he has fulfilled his promises through me. I am his son.
At one point, Jesus needed some alone time. He went without food for 40 days, and at the end of that time, Satan showed up to tempt him.
Want some bread?
No.
Want to fall off the temple and show your power?
No.
Want me to give you the world?
No! It's already mine.
Yeah!
Jesus and his disciples walked around telling everybody the way to God.
Listen up, folks. The only way to God is through me. I am what the prophets told you about 4 minutes ago? 4 minutes ago. So, prophecy is fulfilled.
He also did many miracles to prove his point.
I walked on water. I raised people from the dead. I got Leonardo DiCaprio an Oscar. Wait, I couldn't do that. I cured blindness and leprosy and, other stuff.
Jesus became a very popular man. Too popular, in fact, that the Jewish leaders, called the Pharisees, got a little nervous.
We need to get rid of this Jesus dog.
I know. Just a promise to do it.
Okay.
So, a plot was hatched to kill Jesus. At the beginning of Holy Week, Jesus came to Jerusalem, riding on a donkey, and everybody loved him.
We love you! It's amazing, Lord. You're here at the beginning of the Holy Week.
It's Holy Week because I'm here, Peter.
Right.
Jesus first went to the temple to prove that he wasn't a wimp.
What are you doing? This is my Father's house. You're stealing from my children.
Jesus told many of his stories, called parables, at this time. The Pharisees kept trying to trip up Jesus in his own words, but they never seemed to manage it.
Suppose you're on a train leaving from San Francisco going 75 miles per hour east, and Peter leaves from Sacramento going 82 miles per hour west. And taking into account the atmospheric pressure at 3 in the afternoon, and suppose you're on parallel tracks, when will you pass each other?
I'll answer your questions if you can answer mine. Do you even know what a train is? No. Then you don't need to know that we pass at 3:47.
The Pharisees got so angry that they got Judas to help them. Jesus and his disciples had dinner together.
Come on, guys. Gather around. This is my body, and this is my blood. Remember me.
And then they went to a hill to pray.
Dear Father, I am very, very nervous and scared. Please be with me.
I am his son.
Judas led the soldiers to Jesus,
It's this guy.
who brought him before Pontius Pilate, who had him beaten, humiliated, and in the cruelest form of execution, crucified.
I washed my hands of him.
Jesus hung on a cross and completed the work that God sent for him to do. This is the whole point of the Bible. Jesus' death is only the first part, however.
Let's get him down and bury him.
All right.
Jesus was in a tomb for 3 days, and then he rose again.
I'm back.
He appeared over 40 different times to lots of different people, and in the end, he went up in a cloud.
All right, guys. Go and tell everyone what I did.
This side's son.
Sorry.
And that is the story of the Gospels. The Acts of the Apostles is next, and it tells the story of two guys, Peter
I helped establish the church. I went around telling the Jews how Jesus is the man.
And Saul.
I'm going to kill every last damn Christian there is. Where are they? Let's go.
But God had different ideas for him.
Ow, wow, I can't.
Saul, why are you persecuting me?
I'm sorry, Lord.
Good. And I'm going to rename you too. You are now Paul.
Okay, whatever you say.
And God had Paul preach the gospel to everybody who wasn't a Jew, the Gentiles.
Listen up. Jesus is the man.
Paul spent his time making 3 missionary journeys throughout Asia Minor. He would visit various churches and preach to them, and then go on to the next one.
I want a free trip to Tahiti using my frequent sailing card.
Actually, you want a free trip to Rome in handcuffs. Paul had created such unrest in the places he'd been to, he was finally arrested and given a trip to Rome to present his case before Caesar.
I am Caesar, ruler of the known world. You have been charged for disturbing the peace. Do you like my salad dressing? Off with his head!
Not really.
The next 14 books of the Bible are the letters that Paul wrote to the churches he visited.
Hey, that's my mail. Does the post office know you did this?
These letters are the books from which most Christian doctrine comes from, the what now of Christianity.
One for the Romans, 2 for the Corinthians, 2 for the Galatians, the Ephesians, the Philippians, the Galatians, Thessalonians, 2 for you, Timothy. We got 2 for you. Here we go, Timothy.
Timothy.
1 for Titus, and Philemon, and I think I wrote this one for the Hebrews.
What do they say?
Quiet, I'll paraphrase. Love each other, widows and orphans, and other things.
In fact, the last books of the Bible are all letters, all written by guys who knew Jesus and sent out to other believers in the world. James wrote a letter, Peter wrote 2, John wrote 3, and Jude wrote 1.
I don't know what happened to the post office, letting all this mail get out and things.
The last book of the Bible is Revelation. This book gives Christians hope and security that God is more powerful than Satan.
I will come back and fight Satan. And I'll fight back.
And you'll lose.
I know.
And finally, we get to the book of Concordance. This is where all the words of the Bible are noted and what?
That's not in the Bible.
It's in mine.
It's not in every Bible.
Fine. So are we done then?
Done!
So, there you have it. The Bible in 30 minutes or less. Timekeeper?
27 minutes, 4 seconds.
The end.